Good evening. So, we are going to start with the next topic, that is conditional sentences. So, there's a major term, that is if this happens, if that will happen. So, it is just similar to if and else statement in computers also, right? If this happens, then this will happen. If this happen, then this will happen, right? Before we move forward, we need to concentrate on one term, that is conditional. So conditional means it is a situation basically in which we tell if you have to go to a park, then you should do your homework first. Mama and Papa gives you some conditions to fulfill for a task or something. You will get something if you do a task before that, right? So we're going to concentrate on these sentences. Uh, First thing to keep in mind is it starts with if and it is followed by a result. If this happen, you will get, if you complete your homework on time, you can go to the park. So completing the homework is a condition and going to the park is the result. Now there are four sentences over my screen and you need to read them as a condition or a result. So the sentence starts with if, it is giving a condition. After that we put a comma and then we show the result. So this is the basic rule to write a sentence. You start with if, write a condition, put a comma and then write a result. First, if we heat ice. So the first condition is if we heat ice, what will happen after this? It melts. So this is basically the result, right? Secondly, if a plant is kept in dark place, it dies. So this is also something true. Like if I read both the sentences, they are telling about the truth. They are telling about the truth. A universal agreement, I would say. You will also agree with me that this is going to happen. It will not be something like this, that if I put or if I heat ice, it will remain ice only. No, it will convert into water. So that is going to happen. If it is sunny tomorrow, I will go to the beach. So if it is sunny tomorrow, I will go to a beach. This is a kind of, sorry, I would say possibility. This is a kind of possibility. If it rains, there will be a huge traffic. So now what happens? In the fourth sentence, it is saying it is if it rains there will be a huge traffic jam. So then also there is a possibility that this is going to happen, right? A first two conditions may they are telling the truth, next two conditions may it is a likely possibility, it can happen or it cannot happen, right? There is no 100% surety that only this is going to happen. But when I look at both these sentences, there is a short evidence that no matter whatever happens, if this is a condition, then this is going to be the result. Now why I did that, there was a reason. So now my slide looks completely you know horrifying, right? So there's a rule. If the condition is in simple present, but the result is talking about a universal truth, then we use simple present tense only. Condition in simple present, but the result talks about possibility, then we use future tense. I think most of you have not understood this. So let me come to the next slide. I think this will help you. So I'll take this first example. If we heat ice, so this is something, this is a condition that we are talking about, right? If we heat ice, it melts. This is the truth. This is the truth. This is going to happen 100%. When we have a condition which is followed by a 100% result or a universal truth. I am not saying truth. I am saying universal truth. That means it is accepted by everybody. The sun rises in the east. Nobody can deny this fact, right? But if I say I am a good teacher, there are people who can deny this fact, right? So I'm not talking about truth according to you. I'm talking about a truth which is true to everybody, right? Simple present tense, then both the parts of the sentences will be in simple present tense. Next, if it rains, there will be a huge traffic jam. Now, if it rains, this is also a condition, right? But there will be a huge traffic jam. This is not 100% true. It may happen or it may not happen. It can happen or it cannot happen. There is no 100% surety that this is going to happen for sure. So we write the first part of sentence in simple present tense and we write the second part of the sentence in future tense. So don't get confused. Simple rule, if the condition is in, if the result is talking about truth, universal truth, dono part of the sentence will be in simple present tense. If it is in the simple present tense but the result is something which can happen or which cannot happen, it is possible and impossible as well, right? Then we use the future tense. Okay. Next, last is if I met a superhero. Now this condition, if I say if I met a superhero, this condition is imaginary. This condition is itself imaginary. पहले तो हम result पे sorry, पहले तो we were talking about the result only, that results it is going to depend the grammatical structures, right? But now we are concentrating on the condition only, right? So condition पे it is depending. If I met a superhero, this is imaginary in nature. How will you frame a sentence, or what are you going to do after it? If I met a superhero, this is imaginary situation which which is unlikely to happen, and most probably 100% it cannot happen. There is no superhero kind of thing right now, right? What are you going to do is after the comma you're going to write I would, you would, he would, she would, whatever is the pronoun used after if, right? Use the same pronoun here. After that you will use would plus first form of the word. I would take his autograph. Okay? So there are basically three rules. First is when the condition is possible or the condition is something given to you and you have the result as a universal truth. दोनों part simple present tense में होंगे. Second rule, if there is a condition given to you and the result is okay, it can happen or it cannot happen, right? I am not saying imaginary or real. Imaginary सिर्फ third situation में we are talking about. Okay, तो दोनों में एक में simple present हो जाएगा, next में future tense हो जाएगा. This part is हमारा अलग ही structure चल रहा है when we are talking about imaginary situations, right? Now, let's come to the workbook. It says, match the following. If you study hard, you get good grades. ये तो normal सी बात है ना. If you are studying hard, you will get good grades. So this is universal truth. Next, if you freeze water, it turns solid. That is also universal, right? If you mix black and white, you get gray. If I drop a glass bottle, it breaks. Next. Okay, now the next sentence says complete the sentences using appropriate form of words. तो यहाँ पे हमने जो 3 rule करे हैं, we are going to use that. If it dash, we dash ice skating. If it snows, we complete it. So what I am going to do is I'm going to stop here. I'll share the answers in your WhatsApp group. You are going to perform it first because there's no point I'm giving you the answers. अगर हमने रूल अच्छे से करा तो आंसर्स हमें आ जाएंगे. बेस्ट पार्ट इज सिर्फ 2 चीजों को देखना है. रिजल्ट, अगर द रिजल्ट इज यूनिवर्सल ट्रूथ, सिंपल प्रेजेंट टेंस यूज होगा. अगर पॉसिबिलिटी है, हम फ्यूचर टेंस यूज करेंगे. We, for example, I'll share this first one only. If it snows, this is in simple present tense. We will go ice skating. So there is a possibility. ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि snow होता है तो उसका result ice skating ही होता है. ठीक है? We are talking about the possibility. Next, if you dash your medicine on time, you dash much better. If you take your medicines on time, I will not do it now. You have to do it on your own. Last question is complete the sentences. If animals could talk. So this is again imaginary situation. You know the rule, right? If I met David Beckham, if you do not know who is David Beckham, that's the homework for you again. So that is all for conditional sentences. I'll give you some relative exercises to be done. Thank you. Have a nice day.